What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be exploring everything from the grasslands to volcanoes.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
This adventure starts with us driving late into the night and finding this campsite overlooking a river and the cool little town of Freedom, Oklahoma. We were making our way west to go back out to St. George to that shop, but on the way we had a little bit of extra time and wanted to explore a little bit of the so-called flyover states. We woke up to a pretty cold morning, so we didn't want to spend a whole lot of time sitting around camp. We decided to check out more of the views from the windshield. Crossing over the Cimarron River, we looked back just to see where we had camped the night before. The old town of Freedom is just like a lot of the other towns in the Midwest. It's like taking a step back 20 or 30 years in time. We started to stop in here at the old U.S. Marshal's office, but I was afraid they might keep Deb from an old warrant or something, so we decided to keep moving on. Some of the places in this old town are still here, probably from the late 1800s. It's more like not just stepping back a couple of decades in time, it's like stepping back 100 years. I could totally see walking down through here, seeing horses tied up and buggies running up and down the streets. After leaving Freedom, it was time to head west, just like the original frontiers. We were going to be following along the Santa Fe trip. By this point of the trip, we had made it into Kansas and into the Cimarron grasslands. One of the sites on the map showed that there were fishing ponds in the area, so we decided to stop, check those out, take a little break. What we found were some old dredging ponds. What we learned through the Googles was that these were more than likely dredging operations for rock, sand, and gravel.
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of fish in those anymore.
The article went on to say that there were trout stocked here in the winter and catfish in the summer, but it didn't look like anything had been stocked there for a while. With no luck of catching dinner projected from this little fish pond, we decided to adventure on, see what else we could find. Our next stop was a glimpse into the history of the Santa Fe Trail. This was the first place that we had really seen any markers of it at all. While the Santa Fe Trail goes for miles and miles, it's pretty much broken up now between public and private property. But the Cimarron grasslands holds the largest contiguous piece that's on public land.
Dried up.
In the early 1900s, the Daughters of American Revolution placed 96 of these granite stones throughout the 23 miles of the Santa Fe within the grasslands here.
No water.
Could you imagine striking out across this wide, vast land and never knowing when or where you might find water? Obviously, at that point, there wasn't any wells to pump, but they were always still searching for water and never knowing where their next drop might come from. By this point, we have made it to the Point of Rocks. This landmark has been a navigational beacon for people, I'm sure, for thousands of years, and was a very popular stopover for the frontiers moving west. We explored the Point of Rocks, and it was time to continue our exploration westward. Last night we had driven late into the night, making our way through the Comanche grasslands, and found a perfect campsite in Picture Canyon. The day before was really windy, and we were happy to be able to get into this canyon and get a little bit protected from the wind. After coffee and a quick breakfast, it was time to get exploring again. Today we will be skirting this little edge of Colorado and then making our way down into New Mexico. The first thing we noticed about the Comanche grasslands was there were a lot more rolling hills and canyons as there was the one that we were previously at yesterday. The skies were overcast and it was extremely cold. It was down into the 20s, and as long as we were in the canyon, it wasn't too bad. But as soon as you popped up, the wind just cut you in two. The Comanche National Forest had a lot more trails than they did road. This obviously gave us a lot more of that pioneering feeling, especially when we would pop around a corner and find things like this. Continuing our way across this beautiful grassland, I could totally see wagon trains working their way tirelessly across this vast land, hoping for a brighter and brighter future. As we left Colorado and made our way into the panhandle of Oklahoma, we stepped a little further back in time than we were even before. Now we were looking at dinosaur prints. The panhandle of Oklahoma, specifically the Black Mesa area, is full of history all the way back into prehistoric times. This is the Black Mesa State Park that we're going through here. There are several nice drives out to overlooks. The only place you can camp here, though, is in the campground. But they do have several places that you can go out and stargaze, as this is a certified dark place. Dib was particularly fond of the purple-colored prickly pear cactus. From there, we made our way past the Black Mesa Nature Preserve on our way towards New Mexico to find even more ancient history. The Capulin volcano erupted an estimated 60 million years ago and is thought to be one of the youngest volcanoes in this area. Scientists think that the eruption from this volcano only lasted a few years and is now considered to be dormant. They also don't believe that this volcano will ever erupt again, but there are several other places in this volcanic field that could. We would love to stay longer and walked around the top of the cinder cone, and that's something that we're going to do in the future. But it was bitterly cold up here, as you can see from the frozen fog. We decided to get off of the volcano and continue making our way west and looking for warmer weather. That quest for warmer weather not only took us west, but it took us south. And you'll just have to wait till the next episode to see where we ended up. So until next time, see ya.